um, the important video I'm making right now, um, and there's things going on in my life. You know, my sister, my mom, friends of mine, former relationships, and it has to do with what I'm saying, with the truth being spoken. This is if you've been listening to me lately, or if you go back, um, the episodes, last episodes, that it is about the truth being spoken. I've started recently saying I am the voice of the soul. I speak the truth accurately and honestly, and that anytime there's any distress, there's a truth that needs to be voiced that isn't. And then I've been going around saying obnoxiously horrible things, voicing, and then have saying that, well, that's the thing. Those are the truths that are hidden. That's why, because that they hurt, or they so obnoxiously intolerable to hear, they're awkward, and then because they're so horrible to be voiced, that we don't want to face them, and then we have all of these mechanisms, a lot of them, the defense mechanisms, for example, that we use to cover up uh, the truth. If you listen to a lot of politicians talk, right, they go through so much, they say so much that is not the answer to a question that they're asked. That's actually cover up. They're all methods. And then some people are more better than others at the kind of language, the verbal trickery to avoid saying the truth. As people that you see, that the opaqueness is a quality of their language. To just say on and on and on, and then all of that stuff they say is to distract or cover up, smoke screen, uh, all of the different ways people use, to make accusation to the victim, that is, really it's the other way. I've seen so much of that. People use accusations so much that are false, and they intentionally do behavior to generate accusations, so then it doesn't come to them, to compensate for the fact that they're the ones doing it. You see, and I just see it. It's just so much effort, right? You listen to, like, politicians when they talk to each other in their debates, the right and the left, and the stuff that said, you will hear so much. the bickering, and then I'm particularly sensitive because I heard that stuff since I was a baby with my mom and dad. All the stuff they said was to cover up, you know. Fonda saying that when I see something, the cover up is worse than the crime. So when you see somebody intentionally saying things that are obviously not true, to cover them, then it shows they're actually planning. They're going all the conniving, all the things people do to intentionally cover it up. You know, um, the fact that third world countries, they hurt journalists, they imprison them, they kill them, to prevent the truth being spoken. And then the fact that in this country, the First Amendment is like, to journalists, the First Amendment is just sacred. To me, it is sacred. There's this favorite scene in Star Trek. Me and my dad used to watch all of the episodes together. And Picard says to Picard says to Wesley Snyder, the highest obligation you wearing that uniform is to the truth, you know. And it's an interesting episode to watch because they're covering up a truth that they were responsible for something horrible that happened, and the lies that they told to cover it up incriminate somebody that was innocent. You see, that's what happens. The innocent get um, get uh, punished falsely, are accused falsely, just so to cover up that something happened. And yeah, he ends up, the truth comes up, and they do get reprimanded, and that's the right thing to do. The truth has to come out. Okay, so the thing, like, all the stuff going on why Trump was elected, and all the stuff going on, the people trying to bring about revolution here, like it's a third world country, a coup to overturn the government in America. And you know why it is? What was Trump always saying to get into office? What was his slogan? Okay, I'm gonna put a fence on the border, and I'm gonna make Mexico pay for it. Okay, what does that really mean? It means the people to get the votes in order to win. That appeals to the people that don't like the darker color. People, get them below the border, put a wall there to separate them out of it, right? That's what it is. That's what all the commotion here is. That's what the okay, and then, okay, so now, what people do, you know, that to not get to the truth. One thing is, oh, you accusing me of, or I'm so hurt, I'm so angry, and all the reactions people come up with to cover that up, okay, that prevent getting to the little nugget of truth at the very center. And then if you go there and you go through that, you've heard the statement, the only way out of through. So eventually, when you've done all the stuff that's said, that's actually not the truth to cover it up. One day you go through that to the very center. Eventually, you do get there, unless you're willing to go straight to it, And that's what I've been trying to do lately, telling people, let's just get straight to it. I know all of the cover up techniques. I know all the defense mechanisms people use, all of the stuff to cover it up. I see so much of it over and over, the last 3 years specifically. Please, I ask the people, and people listening to me right now. Okay, this is it just occurred to me, the people that I'm gonna specifically send this to. I ask them to watch this. My sister, my mother, the people around me. That that's my request, please. That we all stop. We all know when we're doing that, right? We all know when we're saying stuff that's cover up. Yeah, and we know when it's a defense mechanism. Maybe I should make a video about all the defense mechanism, how they use examples, how they use. We should all. I want all of us to get it. Just go on YouTube and click defense mechanism. Look at some videos, and we should all be well versed on what projection is, what reaction formation. You do the opposite of what it is to cover it up. You see, the what's the other one? The girl says, She will say bad things to you, but it's actually to some displacement. Yeah, displacing. She says, it's displaced anger. You and the brunt of horrible things being said that were meant to somebody else that did something horrible to it. Right? That does happen. A lot of people being mean because it's stuff other people have done to them, right? And then so and then yeah, and then like racism itself, you know why it's happening because there's somebody to target, to blame for all that's wrong, right? And there's things that there's all varieties, range of defense mechanisms. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that apply to why what's going that's being applied to cover it up. You see, you can use something to rationalize it. You can use it to cover it up. All this stuff. So yeah, like my mom always blamed my dad for everything that's wrong. You know, the people who always hate the government or hate the president that's of the opposite party, and blame everything and know everything under the sun is wrong because Obama or something like, oh, you because and you know, and then you can tell that's what it is. And so this whole thing, and then there's also part of it like evolutionarily, there's a whole bunch of species that for the purpose of, and when you know about, if natural selection, how things evolve because of the DNA, the DNA wants to multiply and survive. It has to survive to multiply, okay? And then the species that are alive right now on the earth are the ones that have been most successful at staying alive and multiplying. And there's all of the behaviors in the world are born out of if you do something doesn't help you live, then you and until you die. So that behavior is that that attribute, that kind of behavior is just doesn't exist anymore. So if you're not smart enough, if you're not agile enough, that you die, then your genes don't pass on to the next. And so then one behavior, because this is a scientific thing that I say, the one behavior, the certain features that certain creature species have, that they don't want to lose that. And so they have it built in there. If they splice their genes with another species that's different from them, that would make them lose that feature that makes them survive. Then they won't survive because of that. Then they have built-in mechanisms to avoid procreating with those species, so they don't lose that thing. So like there's even sponges, the little the creatures like shellfish and things in the ocean, really really primitive, like worms and things that have it built in. Like you can see, and I've seen the sponge that it actually touches another sponge that's not of its own species, and it has an effect that like it can't touch it. It's untouchable because if it touches it, it will lose its genetic purity. And so the notion of white, what let's keep the white race pure, it it's actually there's aspects of that. There's other things too, but there's aspect of that that's actual genetically programmed. Billions and billions goes way beyond when we apes, when we were, squirrel monkeys, when we were rats like creatures, all the way down to worms. There's aspects of our behavior that are like almost all of it that's explained about the genetic process. You see, and the truth. If you can talk about the truth openly without getting emotional about it. If you get angry, that's how people cover it up. They say, "What, they get angry? Oh my God, that's horrible! And, oh, you're offending me. You're insulting me. You're accusing me. You're blaming me." All this stuff people say that are cover-ups to the truth. And like, look, when you go through it, at the end of the tunnel, there's freedom. And by preventing getting there, you just stalling what has to happen. You're preventing what has to happen. You eventually, all of us will go through the tunnel and go to get set free. And that's what this whole life is on this planet. We got to get to the truth. And once we've exhausted everything, all the cover up, finally we're going to go through and tell the truth. And I have this idea that at the very end, there's one statement that will be told, and that the whole world will be liberated, and then we will all live together happily, and without all of this stuff, the notions of scarcity, that we have to work hard to earn money, or and the people fighting each other. You have seen like people in a line, and then they get into an argument because one of them goes to see something, that looks at it, comes back to, hey, you got back in line. You look in the Facebook instance, so much of that people like record and put on, that people are so fascinated with these conflicts that happen, like over somebody's wearing a mask, or somebody's, there's stuff that goes on, there's something about that, the transactions, the daily transactions that people do, or traffic, when people they chase each other in traffic because somebody gave somebody else a finger or something. Um, so so this is it. Okay, so this is it. So this is my pledge to people around, to everybody. Let's stop covering up. You know what you're doing to cover it up. You see people, or there's institutions that do more of it than others. There's people that are more opaque. There's people that are more transparent, and that is my pledge here. I mean, the Zeke show is about saying, and then a lot of people don't like the Zeke show. So that's intolerable, and I feel I was obstructed. The psychology teacher, critical thinking teacher, blocked me completely because he says it's offensive, because it's the truth, because I speak the truth, it's an intolerable truth. I've been kicked out, so, and then maybe look, I should be more tactful in the way of saying it. That there's better ways of expressing the truth, and I that is my intention of saying the truth without watering it down, or sugarcoating it. There's ways of saying it that are more palatable, that are the right timing for saying it. And yeah,